With the perhaps merciful exceptions of Val Kilmer and George Clooney, every time Batman has made it to the big screen, the Joker has quickly followed. For West it was Romero, for Keaton it was Nicholson, for Bale it was Ledger, and for Affleck it was Leto, but as yet, Robert Pattinson doesn't know the identity of his ultimate opponent. In Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman, our fearless Caped Crusader will be facing off against Colin Farrell's Penguin and Paul Dano's Riddler. Whether or not the Clown Prince of Crime is a viable option in the near future, I mean, the lasting impact of the Snyderverse portrayal still wasn't really addressed in the most recent Harley Quinn movie, remains to be seen. But if Warner Brothers can envisage a scenario where they could use him, they categorically will. The burning issue, though, is who would play him. Thankfully, Hollywood's not currently short of slightly unhinged character actors, so their options are limited only by their imaginations. And at this exact moment in time, mine as well. That's because my name is Adam Cleary, and these are 10 actors who could play the Joker in Matt Reeves' Batman. Number 10, Johnny Depp. We start with the man whose potential casting gave rise to this very video. Kevin Smith, the legendary director, also of Jay and Silent Bob fame, was speaking on his excellent Fat Man Beyond podcast when the idea of putting Depp in the role came up. He had the following to say: "Who the f wouldn't want to play the Joker? Heath Ledger won an Oscar, Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar, and of all the actors out there who could possibly take a roll of the dice on the Joker, Johnny Depp is actually kinda perfect." You gotta admit, he'd be fun, man. Like all the parts he's played, he'd kinda be perfect for a take on the Joker. And you know what? He's not wrong, and such an adaptable and watchable character actor like Depp feels like the next logical step after Phoenix elevated the role to almost untouchable status. This, of course, wouldn't faze Depp at all, as he's shown over his long career he's comfortable and has the range for pretty much any part. Number 9, Bill Skarsgård. Now, okay, what's more impressive than taking on one of the most iconic and sinister characters in pop culture and absolutely knocking your performance out of the park? Well, doing it twice, of course. You'd like to think that being so closely associated with Pennywise the Clown from It would work in Bill Skarsgård's favour rather than ruling him out, especially when he demonstrated so many of the vital attributes required for playing the Joker while in the role. Low-key, terrifying delivery of the most rudimentary lines of dialogue? Check. Incredibly physical performance where the majority of the threat is communicated in body language alone? Check. Ability to incorporate treasured character traits into a wholly original interpretation of a famous existing portrayal? Check. Looks scary wearing clown makeup? Check, check, and triple check. Number 8, Michael Shannon. Now, yes, okay, Michael Shannon has recently played a major villain in a DC property. Cast your minds back if you can bring yourself to, he was General Zod in Man of Steel, and then General Zod's corpse in Batman v Superman. So yeah, that might rule him out immediately, but if it doesn't, he'd make an incredible Joker. Is this because the man is one of the most adaptable and accomplished actors of his generation and is consistently, strikingly excellent in every single part he has ever given, making him one of the low-key greatest actors of his entire generation? Well, yeah, mostly. But there's also the numerous visual qualifications, given that Shannon has this deep, hypnotizing face and slightly scary bug eyes. Plus, I mean, come on, he rocks an outlandish suit quite well, donning this garish terracotta and pastel blue number for his role in Runaways. I might see if they do that in my size. Number 7, Sam Rockwell. In the current class of actors who can pull off absolutely batshit insane without veering into kooky, Sam Rockwell currently sits right next to the teacher's desk and gets to take the school parrot home every single weekend. Funnily enough, he was very nearly given the role in Christopher Nolan's Batman series before it eventually went to Heath Ledger. This was absolutely the correct decision way back in 2008, but Rockwell now has over an extra decade of acting under his belt and brings both the necessary highs and lows needed for the role. His performance in Jojo Rabbit, Vice, Seven Psychopaths, The Way Back, and of course the Iron Man films all serve as a dream CV for this part. Always energized, subtly erratic, and one of the best in the business at adding an unhinged element where you'd never think you needed one. Look, right, I'll save you some time. If you are working at Warner Brothers and you are currently watching this video, just give the part to Rockwell and let's get on with our lives. Number 6, Jake Gyllenhaal. Nightcrawler. That's pretty much my entire pitch from getting the part, just his performance in Nightcrawler. Specifically a Bruce Wayne-style Joker where he has a normal alter ego who nobody suspects is, in fact, the notorious man behind the mask. or in this case, clown paint. The way he flips between being a man who is in control with a frenzied rage bubbling underneath the surface, to a man who has lost all restraint but still has purpose and direction in his rage, is one variation on the character we're still yet to see. A version who, rather than just being this maniacal crime lord, could be any one of us. It's a fresh new direction and one Gyllenhaal would excel in. Jake Gyllenhaal. That's it, just Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. Jake Gyllenhaal. Nightcrawler. Jake Gyllenhaal. Number 5, James Franco. There's a possibility, I will admit, that the boat may have been missed on this one, as Franco's career has veered firmly away from drama and more into comedy of late. And ironically enough, if you are too funny, you apparently can't play a character that's based on a clown. But hey, you never know. If Warner Brothers could have their time back, he'd arguably have made a more natural choice for the Joker than Jared Leto did in the Suicide Squad movie. His development as an unhinged underground mobster with a fetish for knives and a soft spot for a one Harleen Quinzel needed a more grounded interpretation of the character, not the larger-than-life scene stealer Leto went for. Franco as a version of the Joker who is emphasizing the crime aspect of the clown prince of crime title as opposed to the clown part would have been a better fit with the film and given them room to unravel him further down the line. There's no reason this approach can't be taken in Reeves' project, and if it is, look no further than Franco. Number 4, Leonardo DiCaprio. Weirdly, this almost happened as well. A mere 3 years ago, when plans were being unveiled for a fanciful-sounding Joker origin movie, reports in Entertainment Weekly stated that Martin Scorsese had been brought on board as a producer to, amongst many other things, help persuade Leonardo DiCaprio to play the movie's titular role. He was, apparently, their number one choice. Things obviously didn't go down exactly like that, and as Joaquin Phoenix collected his Academy Award for Best Actor, you'd have forgiven Warner Brothers for forgetting who DiCaprio was entirely, but there's no reason that whatever it was they saw in him initially couldn't be tapped into again. As far as existing performances go, you'd look at DiCaprio's turns in Django Unchained, Wolf of Wall Street, and in a certain way, Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet as evidence he'd be suitable for this part. However, his roles in The Departed and The Revenant show that he's usually able to work with just about any material he's given. What he'd bring to playing the Joker is entirely unpredictable at this stage, but go on, look into these big blue eyes and tell me it's not exciting. Number 3, Caleb Landry Jones. Often dismissed as just being too similar to Heath Ledger, Caleb Landry Jones made the whole world sit up, with the hairs on the back of your neck doing the same, in Get Out. At that moment, there wasn't a single man in Hollywood playing insidious evil as well as that. A slew of award nominations followed, as again they did for the performance in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, but since then he's fallen gradually into a melting pot of middle-of-the-road drama films and the immensely weird zombie mess that was The Dead Don't Die. He needs a breakout role of his own, and bringing a darker side to the Joker than we've ever seen before would certainly do just that. Thing is, being the Joker takes more than just having a creepy smile, but you'll never pull off the role without one. Jones would have a lot of other work to do to prove to people he was the right man to get the part, but insofar as that grin goes, there is nobody better qualified. Number 2, Willem Dafoe. Well, almost nobody better qualified. There has been for a good number of years now calls for Willem Dafoe to play the Joker. Undoubtedly Hollywood's most expressive actor with undoubtedly Hollywood's most expressive face, the sheer overwhelming volumes of fan art dedicated to this fantasy casting should tell you precisely how popular it would be. Plus, with recent collaboration The Lighthouse earning the pair rave reviews, the calls have now the backing of the people who just want to see Robert Pattinson and Dafoe reunite for another outing. Their chemistry in the movie, while not exactly resembling that of a superhero and his ultimate adversary, though at times not resembling that, was such that they'd have so much fun with the part they were given that it doesn't matter. Adding further weight to all of this is the fact that Dafoe was allegedly lined up for the role in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. He had the look, his name came up during casting, but he was never approached. Still, it's never too late. Number 1, Joaquin Phoenix. As it stands, we don't know precisely what connection there is going to be between 2019's Joker and 2021 we hope's The Batman. They both draw inspiration from the same source material, they both fall under the DC Film Studio umbrella, and they are both projects of the Warner Brothers Studios. Beyond that, we know nothing at this stage. What is known though is that Robert Pattinson is much younger than Ben Affleck. meaning that the Batman of this movie is younger than the Batman of the current DCEU. This means that either this film is set before the events of those movies or is entirely separate from them. If the latter is true, then that positions it closer to the standalone Joker movie, both thematically and chronologically, and thus gives us scope to combine the two. Drawing the lines between points A and Bat is a movie fan's wet dream at present, but given the resounding critical success of Phoenix's performance, it would be ludicrous of the studio not to try and coax him back for another outing at some point. If Robbo's performance resonates even half as well as the one that swept the Oscars last year, there is a ready-made conflict there that audiences will part with serious cash to see. So there you have it, those are 10 actors who could play the Joker in Matt Reeves' Batman. Let me know what you made of it all in the comments below, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe. But in the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I've of course been Adam Cleary, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.